Morning, Mehryn.
Good morning, Jimmy. How was your week?
How are you?
I'm doing well.
It's Friday. It's that time for the fastest 10 minutes of selling Microsoft Teams rooms. Well,
do it.
Somebody had a birthday this week, Mehryn.
I think it was you.
I
Happy
turned
birthday.
25. I am feeling young and vibrant, and I want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes and all the Wawa coffee and Amazon gift cards that I got this week. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate everybody's well wishes, but we've got a lot of news to get to, Mehryn. Let's start with some new collateral that's actually out there.
Yeah, this is a great one. A power user guide for Teams rooms on Windows. This is just out earlier this week, right?
This was just out. I've seen it a couple times floating around, but if you're a partner and you need some collateral to actually give customers and say, hey, here's how we walk through prior to the meeting, during the meeting, and then even after the meeting, you can give this, and this has a whole bunch of information inside of it. Great slides, great collateral for our partners. Also, Mehryn, new this week,
Yeah.
it's going away.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I fear for even saying the word because I don't know if there's going to be devices in your office that get triggered by saying it, but this got some buzz, but I think obviously there's a lot of new developments and new applications like Windows 11 and Copilot that will step right in and give voice support for those that are avid users of this application. So
I think my term is bye-bye, Felicia. We'll see you later.
I love that. That's awesome.
Also, device buyback. We haven't really covered this. It's got some new things to it. I think our partners will really sort of want to look back on this and say, hey, there's some benefits. If we're going to be replacing contents inside of the room, we might be able to get some refunds on some things.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's also responsible recycling too. Like you don't want a closet full of gear that's not disposed of properly. So not only are you getting money back, but it's also doing it in a responsible way. So added benefits for all, including our environment. So.
Absolutely. Really great to see. Also, Mehryn, I posted this last week. Kim Matlock did a spectacular job in videos about the Pro Management Portal. It's a full playlist. If you go to aka.ms/Teams Room Management Videos, you will see this playlist. Go through each one of them. It really starts to give you the value of Pro. Also, another collateral that's available for our partners is the one-pager on the Teams Room Pro Management Portal. There's so much in there that gives value to this Pro license, and understanding it and being able to explain it to your customers is key.
Yeah, good content, and also good if you're on YouTube and you watch a lot of videos, follow Microsoft Helps. There's not just Teams Pro Management, but there's a lot of other great topics in there as well.
Yeah, you also want to follow this YouTube channel called Team Room Tech Talk. They're doing some good stuff too. Also, Mehryn, you gotta be polite. You have to be polite to your AI.
Stop staring at me every single week. Do we have our beat person on here too, responsibly catching all that?
Hey, Jimmy, I got one thing to say.
You got to be polite, Michelle. You got to be polite. Yeah. Thank you. But yes, it's important. And Mehryn, we were talking about this. When I train the AI on different chats and different things that I have, it actually responds and it starts to learn your tone and it starts to learn how you interact with it. And because of that, if you're angry in real life, I don't want my bot to be angry. I want my bot to actually be polite in its responses to people and things like that. So it's a great way to actually understand a little bit about these things and why AI is so important.
Yeah, I think AI, it would be interesting if I say answer in the tone of Jimmy Vaughn, what it sends back.
Right? Maybe they'll start yelling, Mehryn! Yeah. All right, and let's talk about my chair aerobics, Mehryn, because it's important here. Yeah. You know, there's 6 principles that athletes do for work, and understanding their training and the way that they approach things actually may help your work. Michelle, that's a large kettlebell that you have there.
I know. I'm just impressed at the fact that you're like resting it nicely on your shoulder. Let's see some movement here, Michelle.
No, I got to go by.
All right, but it's really important because athletes have a way of actually working and achieving their goals, and their goals are no different than we do at work. And understanding how they achieve those goals is really, really important. And it actually was a nice article to sort of help you think about these kind of things.
Yeah, I went through like training principles of like, you've got to rest up after a big project, like burnout really exists, things like that. Setting goals, realistic goals, having feedback sessions with your team and your boss, all just principles that matter. It's kind of a good time to reflect on.
Yeah, and this one you put in, Mehryn, changing role in the office. It's the moments that matter. And I think those moments that you actually have that aren't planned in the office is some of what this is trying to get at.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more of these unplanned meetings happening. It was interesting. I was watching some data that somebody presented this week of a lot more of these impromptu calls that are not scheduled, probably double, triple what they were 2 years ago. But I think it's in place of some of those water cooler moments that we might be missing at the office. So having somewhat of an intentional plan on how we create more of those moments is really the thought behind that. So,
and it's funny because we're in a world and a community that really has, all right, we're going to plan these meetings. We're going to have technology in the room so that we can have those meetings. But sometimes those impromptu meetings that aren't even scheduled and things like that, they can have an important role. And what happens when I need technology and I can't get to it inside of the office? Those are important things to discuss about how all of that sort of works. Because when those impromptu meetings happen, there's many questions. And if not everybody's there, maybe we're going to need to bring more people in. Mm-hmm. Also, you found this podcast with Kevin Scott this week as well.
Yeah, so Brad Smith hosts a, if you're not like a podcast connoisseur like I am, this is definitely one to add to your favorites. Brad Smith interviews a whole host of people inside of Microsoft and outside of Microsoft. So if you haven't heard from Kevin Scott, he's our CTO. It's 30 minutes, so it's a little bit longer in length, but you get to know him as a person. They talk about AI and tackling a lot of those security questions and just fundamental thoughts about AI and where we're headed. So I thought it was great, just a great way to get to know him as a person and also where we're headed as Microsoft around our security principles. So
yeah, and Kevin does a great job. He does a lot of sessions for us at the trade shows and things like that. Mm-hmm. Incredibly talented and bright individual who actually has a lot of thoughts on AI and things like that. So go make sure you get to that podcast. Also, Edgehog, Mehryn. Edgehog wants you to know Bing Chat Enterprise is there.
Yeah, so I was at a conference again this week. AI is prevalent. It's like, how do I get started? This is a great way to first get started. If you have M365 E3, E5 license, this is something you can enable and start working on today. So this is the 4 steps. It's basically got to be an administrator that either enables it or disables it, depending on where you want to go as an organization. But those are the 4 simple steps to take to start getting your organization going around Bing Chat, which is great.
Yeah, I've seen some of the MVPs write posts about this. I've seen them write some informative articles, but understanding Bing Chat Enterprise, then to Copilot, all the different structures that we're going to have, that's an important part so that you can discuss with your customers, not only about Teams Room, but everything that's coming so that we can understand why Teams Rooms are so important.
Right.
The Pro Management Portal, we spoke about it before, how important it is on the front page of the Pro Management Portal. They're pleased to announce that the app for the Pro Management Portal is now bundled inside of the firmware. So there's no more of this agent that needs to put on there. Again, if you are doing Pro licenses, make sure that your customers are going to that Pro Management Portal. There's a lot of information in there, and it is included with that Pro license. Unbelievable value inside of what's there.
PMP is a new acronym. That's the first time I've seen it referred to that. So PMP and MTR. Love it.
PMP and MTR. Also, Mehryn, there was a message center update about some new management for Android devices inside of Intune that's coming later. It's different for different devices. Mm-hmm. Not sure 100% that it explained everything, but please read Message Center articles so that you're aware, if you are an administrator, about what you need to do and what you need to look for coming.
Yeah, Android's a hot topic these days, especially Intune, right?
Strange when our producer falls asleep in the background and I have to sit there while that's going on. But let's make sure to give Josh some love. Josh is over at Jabra, Josh Blaylock, Wednesday, August 3rd. He'll be doing a session. Technically speaking, he's got some great thoughts and some great demos that he's going to do on this as well. Also, Mehryn, Yealink has a roadshow.
Yeah, we keep talking about roadshows, and I think every week we highlight a new city. You talked about New York, I think, last week. So they've published their events through the end of the year. If it's coming to a city near you, I think we could see 3 of them on the screen: Chicago, New York. We've got California as well. There's a lot of new big events coming up for the fall-winter timeframe. And as you had just kind of highlighted, AI seems to be a really big topic. I know Yealink's talking about it. I think we've got a few more on the horizon, so stay tuned. We'll do our best to let you know all the upcoming events.
Yeah, and as Uncle Sam says, I want you to vote, Mehryn. I want you to go to aka.ms training teams rooms because we've had a lot of people voting. And I'm happy to announce the subject in September has actually been voted on. We got a tremendous amount of people that want to learn about Intune and conditional access. And because of that, we're going to invite Andrew Higgs, otherwise known as Higgsy, who's from Australia. He's going to be actually doing his masterclass for us on the learning about teams rooms. So you voted. We hear you, and we're going to be bringing in Higgsy to actually do exactly what you wanted to do. But if you have not voted yet, or if you even voted and you want to vote again, go vote again and make sure that we get your feedback.
Okay.
Also,
right.
Mehryn,
AMA, ask me anything. The acronym. If anybody's wondering, Microsoft Teams devices, ask me anything. There we go.
Correct. It will be August 21st here in North America and Europe, and then the 22nd in APAC. Make sure to go sign up. Make sure to attend these. These are not recorded. This is an open community that we bring people together to talk about everything that they want to talk about. So happy and so great for that community. Mehryn, we hit 11 minutes and 36 seconds. Had our producer not fallen asleep, we may have hit 10 minutes, but I looked blankly into a camera for about a minute and a half there. I am happy to say have a good weekend. Thank you, everybody, for joining us every week and giving us 10 minutes of your time. Thank you, Mehryn, Michael, Michelle, everybody, Tom out there, everybody that sort of supports us in the background. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. And Michael, take us out of here.